Today I thought I would do a video showing you how to um, adjust the speed and maybe adjust the capacity, or kind of just show you how to edit a XML to make something more to your personal taste. And for some reason, as soon as I started recording, my daughter wants to be loud. So I'm hoping that she don't override me, and you can understand what I'm saying. All right, so I went to Giants Mod Hub and I downloaded this little buggy. I'm going to use it to show you how to adjust speed and some other things in the XML you can do to just adjust this to what you want it to be. But I'm also going to grab something from Giants, and I don't know what here. Let's see. Let me find a trailer. Let's go to the last page. It should be all Giant stuff. Let's see, what one do I want to use here? Let me see what we got on the next page back. Let's see. Let's just I'm trying to find one that I know is not going to be confusing when we open it up. These ones will be. This one will be, because it has a walking floor and stuff. I need to just find a regular. Alright, so we're going to use this. Actually, no, let's use this. I can show you how to make it the capacity more and make it unload faster. And it would be the same concept for this. And this will probably take a minute to download, because for some reason my internet ain't real good at the moment. But I can show you how to edit this to hold more and unload faster and run faster. Now with the harvesters though, the header is what you got to adjust to make it go faster. So if you set this to run 100 mile an hour and don't adjust this to run 100 mile an hour, then it's only going to run 6 mile an hour like it normally does. If this goes pretty good, I may show you how to do a logo also. That way you'll know how to put a logo on something. I do it my way. Is it the correct way? No, probably not. But it works for guys who want to learn how to do it. Alright, so the harvester is now downloaded. So let's get out of here, go to downloads, and I'm going to copy this here. That way that stays there. Now, first thing the only thing you need to do what we are doing right now is Notepad++. That's all you need. If you don't want to mess with editor and do all that, and you just want to go in and edit stuff, you just need Notepad++. Alright, so right click, extract all. Same thing with the John Deere, extract all. Now, we don't need this no more, so we can just delete. And first we'll work with the changing the speed on this little sucker. Let's see. So, let me go back. So when you open this up now, you have all this. And what you're looking for is this right here. Just click on this. Now, this tells you all about the vehicle. You don't have to mess with none of this stuff. Now, right here, where it says components, if you come over here where this says mass, this is how much the mod weighs. Like, this is the weight of the mod. So this is in kilograms probably, I'm going to guess. But anyway, this thing weighs, mass is 1100. So let's say in in pounds, that's probably close to 2,000, maybe. I don't know for sure. But anyway, if you want to make it heavier or lighter, right there, you just adjust this number. Now, with that being said, if you adjust something too light, it won't perform like it's supposed to. Alright, speed. Let's keep scrolling on down through here. This is all your wheel configurations. You don't really need none of that. Come on down here. Well, since we're here, I'll give you a lesson on winch too. So if you get a vehicle that has a winch, and say you want to adjust it to do more, this one actually has two. So you got one on the front and one on the back from the way it looks right here. I've never even played with this mod. This is the first time I've had anything to do with it. A buddy of mine streams a lot and he uses it. Shout out to you, Bruce. And he's made me want to try it out, so I'm going to adjust it and go with it. Okay, so right here, the max number of trees is how many you can actually hook to drag. So you could change that, say, to 10. And then the minimum length is how far after you say you hook up one log and you want to run 50 feet over there the other way to hook up another one, but it's not long enough. This is where you adjust that. You can make this pretty much any length you want to. Same with the max number of trees. Actually, I might have messed up here. Minimum length is 1, max length. Okay, so this you probably want to leave alone. And then the max length is what you want to change to make it, hook up more trees further away. And then this length is how far you can actually stretch the cable. So you can make this 100. Let's just do that, 100. And then the sub length, I'm going to say, let's do that 10. Now, anytime you do anything, just save it. And then, so let's go on down here. Alright. So right here it says motorized. That's what you're looking for. Now, this is your usage. So if you want something to use less or more fuel, you just change this number. The higher the number, the more it uses. The lower the number, the less it uses. Alright, so so this actually has a transmission instead of an automatic, so we got to do a little more to make it go faster. I didn't know that. Like I said, I've never played with this mod. So you got your motor configuration, and as you see, it goes all the way down here. But this from here to here is your motor. Like, you can change this stuff. For instance, to go change. This is your torque setting at different RPMs and so forth and so on. They have this set at about a half of a torque, or whatever you want to call it. So if you want it to go faster or climb better, just say do that one. So, or you can pretty much change it to whatever you want to. Don't really mess with this, because then it messes it up whenever you slow down. It wants to think that you're going faster and this, that, and the other. I think that's the one I'm talking about. Now here's your speed. And the one thing to keep in mind is all this is in kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. So 135 135, it's 83 miles, roughly 83 miles an hour. So say you want this thing to go faster, so we know, so let's do 180. That's 111. Alright, let's just make it even 200. That's 124 miles an hour. So that's what, let's just make it do that. So max speed is 200. The backward speed, usually when I edit stuff, I just do 25. Now this brake force, of course, when you hit the brakes, that's how fast it slows down. I generally do not mess with this. Sometimes I'll add a little bit to it, but the low brake force is what I mess with. So this is 0.1, so I want to make it 0.9 just to test. That helps when you let off the gas. It's kind of like the Jake brake. but of course you know this don't have a jake brake. So when you let off the gas, it's kind of compression, in other words. So I'm going to change that to 9. Okay, that's there's done. I'm going to save it again. Now down here is your gears. And in order for us to get the extra speed we got here, we need to change this ratio right here. Now right now it's at 0.5 or 0.6. Just for all intents and purposes, shits and giggles, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to make this 4. Just 4. And then we're going to have to go in and test it and see if it'll go the full miles per hour. If not, we'll come back in and make this lower. Now sometimes you can adjust all these a little bit more to make it, you know, say shift faster or stay in one gear longer. You can adjust all this. This is how fast it takes in automatic, and then you can adjust a lot right in here. But right now I'm just trying to focus on making it go a little faster. Alright, that's done. I don't need to mess with none of that stuff. So I'm going to save it again. And if you come on down here, this exhaust effects, that has 2. I didn't realize that. So we're going to, I'm going to show you how to make it roll cold. So 0, 0, 0, 0. Over here, what are we going to do? 0, 0, 0, 10. I'll leave all that stuff alone. Now you'll see the difference between the two of them, or should, whenever we go in game. You'll see one side smokes, the other side don't. So we'll save that. And then this here is your start duration. So in other words, when you push the button to start the vehicle, this is like 3 seconds, for instance. It seems to be anyway. The longer this number, the more longer it takes for it to get up and going. You can change this to whatever you want to, but if you change this especially on certain mods, you'll still be starting the vehicle when you take off, and it doesn't really go together. But for personal preference or personal play, that's what you deal with. I don't know what all else this does, but for now, I'm going to leave this alone. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to just back out of here and go back to this page, and let's go see what happens. Let's just do this one. This don't have as much stuff to load in as them other maps do, I don't think, so it loads up faster. Of course, now it's going to make me a liar. It probably helped if I did new farmer mode too, or start from scratch so you don't have to load everything in that way. The good thing about doing your own map is it loads up pretty fast when you ain't got all the extra stuff in there. But it's definitely taking its time today. Of course, this is the first time I've been on Farm Sim today too. I feel like it's got to start up before it wants to work good. Okay, so right, there's our little buggy. See, it still says it only goes 83 miles an hour. I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. So yeah, let's just see what happens here. Yeah, see how one side there is smoking black now? Find a place where I can open it up here. Changing that torque setting, really, I just know it's different, even though I ain't used it from. Ooh, it's definitely light. I'll give it that. see if we can jump a road. Whee! There we go, 124 miles an hour now. That should be pretty fast. Now you can adjust that number 4 and get it to where it'll be, get on up there where it's wide open. But to me, it's doing pretty good right now. Braking's still pretty good. This is a fun little buggy. And I like that it stays upright and don't damn roll over every time you take a turn. Alright, so we know that works. Cool. So, I'm going to close this down. I'm going to go back in here. And right up here, change this to 200. Save. That should make your end game show how fast it'll really go. And I'm going to come back down here to where we was at a little bit ago. Where is that? I'm going to go ahead and just for my own, go ahead and make it, let's make it diesel in other words. Okay, so now we should have this thing to where it'll run that fast. Again, you can adjust all this pretty much to your own settings. I just know when you start messing with some of this stuff, you got to adjust everything to make it match that, and sometimes it's kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, so that's enough for that. We'll go back in and look at it in a minute. So let's look at this harvester. Oh, this has the header in it. Cool. So we'll do it first. Actually, we'll do this first. Okay. You don't really gotta mess with none of this. Again, now this has 2 components, and the easiest way for me to explain that to you without going into the XML is the axle on the back where it floats and moves around. That is its own. That's its own thing. So it counts as a component. So you have the harvester itself, and then you have that axle. That's pretty much, well, you can see right there it says axle joint back. So that would be your component 2. That's why it has 2. And you can see this is 9,000, 9,100 pounds or whatever it is. Most everything in the game is right around that. Some of it's a lot heavier than that, but that's kind of right around 10 or a little over 10 is where most things are in here. But anyway, we don't need to know about that. All these wheel configurations, we want to learn about how much it holds, and okay, so I'm going to raise this up to 4, so it'll use a lot of fuel. Okie dokie. Now this has an automatic in it, or CVT. In order to get your speed to go faster on this, you have to change this also. So what I do is I'll find a mod that goes and reacts the way I like it, and then I'll go in and look at see how this is set up and just take that and add it to this and then change all this to that scale. So what I'm going to do for this is we're going to give this the Fendt 1050 500 and whatever, or the fent, we're going to give it the speed of that. In order to see what that is, just go over to your data file, which we've been messing with it a little bit now anyway. Go to vehicles, go down here to fent, I guess that's the 1000. Yes, I said 1050, but now you see the max speed on this is 60, so that's what we're going to leave it at. Notice what's that, 40 something in the game. So we're going to change. Doing these videos, I always get ahead of myself, and I really apologize for that. I'm hoping that you can still, you know, learn even though I'm bouncing around. Okay. So this max forward speed is 63, so that's what we're going to do here. So let's do 63. Now, what's the backwards? It's 25, so let's go ahead and do that too. 25, brake force. Oh, so the Fendt is heavier than the Combine. Well, partly heavier than the Combine. Okay, cool. So let's go back down here. I went and looked at that to see if I need to adjust the brakes to be better or worse. So I'm gonna, where was I at? There it is. Yeah. Oh, it's 22. I better change that. I thought that said 25. Okay, so brake force is 22. What the? Brake force is 16 and .22. So I'm gonna leave that at 20. I'm gonna change this to 25. Alright, so minimum gear ratio forward. So here, what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this whole entire line to make it faster and easier. So just copy, bring over here, Control V. So other than the torque scales, the speed and such on this is the same as that Fendt now. So I'm going to close out the Fendt and I'm going to save this. So now we've just made this go faster here. And here's the same thing that I was telling you a little bit ago. If you wanted to roll coal, just 0, 0, 0. Oops, I'm doing it wrong. 0. Now, I'm going to make this 5 so I can show you something. So if you used to do this half, and do this one over here whole, I say whole meaning 10. Now, also right here, you see these? If you glance at it, you're like, oh, it's the same. Really, it's not. This is giving you half of a 1, and then this is giving you half of a whole 1. So in other words, if you change this to 1, just 1, it's going to blow out like crazy. You don't really want that. I usually don't mess with these. I leave it the way they have it set. Alright, so this should be all there. I'm going to save it again. Now we're looking for a fill unit right here. Now we know that this thing only holds 14,000. I'm going to have to go find something here. So say you want this to Okay, say you want this to be to hold 500,000. So 500,000. Now, if you leave that like that and go back in the game and try to harvest 500,000, I don't think you're going to be able to get that much, because it'll be so heavy that the model just sort of crumble around itself or get to the point to where it won't move. I've had that to happen before. There's a line, and we'll see if I can find it in my stuff here. I can't remember where I saved it. Let's see here. Pictures, maybe? Oh, yes. So you take this update mass right here like this, and I'm going to copy that. Now you can find this in other mods too. Just put it in there exactly like you see it right there. Update mass equal false. And we're going to go back over here, and I already put my space in there, so Control V. So what this does, this update mass and you leave it false, is it makes it think it's empty all the time. In other words, it never really gets heavy. And when you do unrealistic values like this, you almost have to add this, because I know you've used some trailers that hold like say 80 to 100,000 liters, and if you notice, sometimes the wheels will sink down real low, or sometimes go in the ground. That's why. So update mass is false, and then save. Alright, now we got 500,000 liters, and this thing, unload, foldable. Now you're looking for, well, when I find it, I guess I'll tell you. Pipe. Okay, right here it says dischargeable. Now, even on a trailer or a combine, somewhere it has a dischargeable or empty or something, and your speed on that is 410 liters. I think that's a minute or something. I don't know how that works. So if you want this thing to empty fast, just put 500k right there, and that will empty like in a snap of your fingers really quick into a trailer. But let's speed it down. Let's do 250k. So now you're going to empty that out probably in less than 2 seconds, which is pretty damn fast. Now there's nothing else in here you need to worry with. So we saved it. We've upped the capacity. We've upped the speed. We've upped the empty speed. But right up here at the top, we need to change this. Oh, come on now. I done deleted the fence, so now I can't remember what it was. I think I can look down here and find it again. 63. So let's change this to 63 and save again. Now, so you don't want to get this confused with your other, say you got another S790 that you do not want to confuse this with. So just put a space here and put my edit and then save. So now let's go into the game and see what's going on here. It's roughly 11:30 where I'm at right now. I'm still drinking coffee. Man, it's even slow on that. I should have just used my map I was building Okie dokie. So now you see now, if you look over here, it says that's my edit right there. That way you'll know that's the one that you edited. It's 39 miles an hour and it holds 500K. Now I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna fill her up with wheat. Now it's got 500K in there. Let's see here. I don't think there's anything in here that holds that much, but yeah, I'll just well, I can't empty it on the ground. Well, let's see here. Let's just use this. There, empties pretty fast. So if you used to do 500K, let's see, can I buy that piece of land? Do I have enough money? I do. So now you're going 39 miles an hour in your harvester with 500 liters of product in there, and now you want to unload it. There's what 500K that looks like. So, okay, so you got that done. So now you want the header to run that fast. And we're going to put my edit on this so that way it don't get confused also. Oops. The only thing you have to change is right here. And what do we say, 63? Just put 63 right there. Save. And now it'll run the same speed as the harvester does. That's how easy that is, really. Seriously, that's just boom. Yeah, I mean, I don't, this is the map I'm doing for my map making thing, so let's just go on here and give it a test and see if it does 39 miles an hour harvesting. Excuse me. That's a corn header. I thought that was I'll be okay. I think we got a field of corn right over here. Wee doggy. Yeah, I think we're going to be good for the 39 miles an hour. That's how you edit things, to make them go faster and perform more and hold more. Alright, let's check on our little buggy. Make sure all that stuff did what it's supposed to do. Yep, now it says 124 miles an hour down there, so that's cool. Oh, smoking out of both cylinders now. Let's go play on the mountain. Whee! Oh, it rolled. I didn't think it'd roll. Well, there you go. I hope this helps somebody learn how to do something. And again, I apologize for me stuttering and being all over the place. For some ungodly reason, doing this stuff still makes me nervous as all get out. But I hope you learned something. I hope you found it interesting. If you do, leave a like. Thanks for everything. Until next time. One thing I forgot to say is when you're done, if you don't want to leave it unzipped, just right click or right click and then send to compressed zipper file, and then you can just leave it that name or say edit on the end of it. And once you're done, man. Just it's done. It's ready to use.